Sup y'all, welcome back for some more Godless. Last episode we were introduced to the main protagonist and antagonist. Jeff Daniels' character, ruthless savage guy, runs a gang and uses biblical passages and verses to convey he can deliver a wrath on par with the gods. And Robin Good, even though he was shot in his throat, he was still able to translate to us without speaking his character, his interaction with the horses, his soft demeanor. And when he was barely able to speak, you could still tell there was no aggression or intent to harm. Those roles were established very early on. And with the woman who runs the ranch and both of the sheriffs, you know, we got a couple of characters introduced, and I'm ready to see what episode 2 takes us. They're hot on this trail, and I can only imagine what's going to happen when they catch up with each other. Before we begin, I do want to remind you that you can see my full-length reaction to this series and others on my Patreon, link in the description. If not, just make sure you subscribe and leave a thumbs up on this video if you do enjoy it. It really helps my channel reach a wider audience, and I greatly appreciate it. But now, it's time for the show. Let's go.
Mr. Sloane is said to be fair, honest, and good-humored.
So Sloane was the owner of the train that got robbed in the first episode that Frank wanted to get the payroll and they just wouldn't give it to them, and then they all got slaughtered. We all know how that ended. Definitely an important character.
And you're Mr. Sloane?
Ma'am, I'm J.J. Valentine, Mr. Sloane's humble number 2. Now made a surprised number 1 by unfortunate circumstance.
Okay, so Agnes is the sheriff's sister, widow to the mayor.
Now, do you recall the name on the grave that he dug up?
There was no name, just a stick for a marker. But that weren't the worst part. He took the clothes.
Now, why in the world would you wear someone from a coffin's clothes? Unless it's used for a disguise or something. So the word is out that Roy Good is no good. Did I say Robin Good in the intro? I meant Roy Good.
Oh, now you weren't expecting that, were you? Both of them.
Jesus Christ, Whitey. All right, no visitors.
Why? He dangerous?
Just do it.
Well, you don't look much like the stage robbing type. It's more like the fishing in public type to me.
This guy is giving off like a warrior archetype to me. Young gunslinger, ready for action, hyper, attentive. They don't want to let him know who he is for some reason. After hearing about what happened to the other town, you don't want anything, any word to get out in any way and have the same thing happen to them.
A fine meal would have done honor to the...
Did it say no dynamite? I mean, that's a given, right?
Have you always had a fondness for teaching children?
No, sir. I'd always been a whore. I just sort of fell into teaching after Magdalena's closed. And then the schoolhouse got struck by lightning and burned down. Took the old marm with it.
Hey, she's got life experience. That's all that means.
How has the town of La Belle fared these past 2 years without any men around?
We've done all right.
It's been difficult. As you can well imagine, a town full of ladies, ripe fruit for the wicked.
Well, we at Quicksilver aim to help you ladies all we can. You got a mind with some value to it, and I got the men to work it.
Wow, Leopold's was waiting for Bill, went up to the ranch to show him a deed, and they bushwhacked him. Bill took a bullet in the hip, still managed to get up, shoot, and kill all 3 of Ace's boys.
Same sheriff who brought me in, he shot all 3.
Yes, sir. He didn't monkey around none either. He just walked west. They was all still shooting in him, put them all down. That was a time when Bill was quite the gun. Now, he taught me everything I know. Alice and her family moved into the property, and then one day, her husband winds up dead on the streets, shot in the back.
The old man.
Nobody knows. 2 weeks later, Ace's wife dies of rheumatic fevers. The folks around here, they like to say that Alice, the old Indian woman, conjured up a spell that brung all the bad luck. It goes to show that eventually all of us gonna find the dirt one way or another.
The sheriff, and I still didn't catch what her name was, they're suppressing their actual abilities because they're in a state of despair right now. But they're both probably very good at combat and are capable of being happy, but for whatever reason, where they're at in their lives right now, it's just not gonna happen.
We do want your help. We really do. We need you.
Well, we're not just gonna give it all away either.
Do you ladies know what they say about La Belle? Deepest shaft is what, 86 feet?
We have one goes down 103 feet and another... We know how to run the mine. We want to be partners. 50-50.
She is about it. She is very smart. So these women are actually very capable. I mean, running a mine is one of the toughest things you can do, and they're willing to do it in order to be partners. She seems like a great mayor to me. Stern, has everyone's well-being, you know, at the forefront of her decisions, and she knows her worth.
In a month's time, I can have 50 good men here. 100 the month after that. 150 men, all here to work hard and take care of all of you.
That sounds real nice.
Sounds too good to be true. Seems like everyone does want to do it except the mayor.
I say we take the deal.
They're actually voting for it.
Me too.
As I figured, everyone wants to do it. She may be the unofficial leader, but unless she actually is, I don't think she should be that upset that everyone voted. I mean, it's kind of unanimous. They've gotten this far on their own without men. They've been keeping it going, but a lot of them just want the presence of a man in general. You know, that's incentive enough for most of them. Well, I wouldn't say most, but you can tell of the ladies in that room at least. The mark of a good leader is compromise, so I think she's a little too gung-ho and direct with her approach. Doesn't seem that diplomatic yet. Of course, she is the widow, though. She seemed to have learned a lot from him, though. That's usually how it goes.
Well, I'll do the best that I can.
I'm assuming that's his wife before she passed, because he does have a curly-headed girl. It's weird because I just realized the men are law enforcement though, so why wouldn't the women be law enforcement as well?
I have to ask you boys to ride on out of here.
Or else what?
Or else what?
Oh, I best get on out there.
Okay, now I'm realizing why the men that are left. They already have jobs. Everyone that died was probably working in the mine. Sheriffs, barbers, bartenders, they already had jobs, so.
Hey! Stop me in the damn shoulder, boy! Name's not Boy. It's Whitey Wynn.
Oh!
Now, I think y'all heard the sheriff.
Okay, definitely the warrior. I called that. This man's a crack shot.
Now, don't worry, folks. Ain't none of them gonna bother you again.
Just reinforcing that coward image.
All right, come on. Let's go back inside.
Sat there and tripped like a goof, and that's in front of the guests as well.
What's the matter with your eyes?
I've been losing it bit by bit since my wife died a few years ago, giving birth to my daughter.
Oh, so he has a degenerative eye disease.
Maybe another 6 months before I go completely blind. What do you figure he's hiding?
Frank ain't hiding, Sheriff. He's out there spilling blood trying to make me feel bad.
For what? Stealing from him?
Leaving him. He always thought of me as kin.
Why did you abandon him?
It ain't so simple, Sheriff. It's personal.
Not after the whole town gets lynched, it ain't. Try and pick up your trail.
Well, he more than likely did just that.
Which means you more than likely just led the man right here.
He ain't ever finding me, Sheriff. Man alone can be invisible if he knows what he's doing.
And Griffin's riding with 30. 30 men wouldn't at all be invisible now, would they?
No, sir, they would not.
And they ought to be able to pick up on his trail without too much trouble.
Sure. If that someone had proper eyesight.
I ain't blind yet.
They were definitely trying to feel each other out, see if they both lived up to the reputations that's preceded them so far. Though a little bit of mistrust there, but common thing they have is they're both worried about Frank. That dude is a monster.
Are you crying, sir?
No. My eye. Old war wound.
You fought what war?
I fought my wife. May she rest in peace. And on the last occasion, she broke a bottle of liniment across my cheek.
This dude called a fight with his wife a war.
Well, let's just say you're going to give me immortality, and I'm going to let you live longer than you might have.
Deal.
I print the truth only as I see it.
Hell, Daily Review don't even come out but once a week. That's a lie right there.
I print the news of the day.
The news of today is that the crybaby editor was found in a puddle of his own piss and brains. I want you to write that Roy Good betrayed me, and that I will kill any man, woman, or child who harbors him. The good people of Creed let him walk their streets. Now, they don't have no streets. Or people, for that matter.
He's really smart. His reputation, he values his reputation almost above everything. He's like a Marlo Stanfield. He knows what people think about him is everything. He probably is upset about the money, but it's really not about the money. He wants Roy Good. That is his Omar Little. That just basically says he can be messed with no repercussions. You can get away. You do whatever it can to make sure people fear you, if that's what you're going for.
Hi, William. Trudy.
Is, my sister about?
She's out yonder trying to shoot some quail for breakfast. How's that spelling coming, William?
Just fine, mister.
So the teacher and the mayor's widow are in a lesbian relationship in an all-woman town. And that would explain why she doesn't really care for men. It's all starting to make more sense. Is everyone on this show such a good shot? I mean, they are frontiersmen, so yeah.
I'm gonna help Marshal Cook bring in Frank Griffin. Look at me like that. I've been known to kill a man or two.
So's lightning.
I'm gonna go say my goodbyes.
You best make it a good one.
She is very direct. She does not try to sugarcoat anything. She knows how brutal Frank is, let alone life. She's not expecting him to return. He's a great actor. I forgot his name. Once sitting down eating. Definitely one of the great young actors of our time.
I'm gonna bring in Frank Griffin. Now stop sitting there with your mouth open. Pass me a box of them shells.
No, hold on.
He wants to go with you.
Marshal Cook's on his way up to Olegrand. Once I pick up on Griffin's trail, I'll meet up with them and we'll go after him together. You keep an eye on Mr. Ward here till we get back. Understand me?
Yes, sir.
You boys try not to eat yourselves to death.
He is not up for the task. He is in too much of a bad shape. We haven't really, outside of Roy Good, we haven't really seen a presence that seems like they can counter Frank's ruthlessness. I mean, he's going straight to the media, to the paper.
You going somewhere?
Rest of your herd's out in the hills by the creek. Why didn't you hire him? I'll help you fetch them all.
Why don't you come inside, Bill? Have a cup of coffee.
Better not. You take care now.
I'll be back later.
She's going along too. Okay. She definitely has the skill to be there. Did she read Roy Good's letter and learn something about him and feel like he deserves to have his name cleared and this guy really is maybe pure evil that just needs to be put down?
Why, Miss Fletcher, what a nice surprise.
Open up the cell.
Oh, she went to free Roy.
Ma'am, please. Now, hold on.
Take it off. Do it, or you're gonna be awful damn sick from a bullet in your chest.
That's a great angle-on shot of the rifle, man. It's just showing you how much damage that thing will do from that close range.
That's some delicious coffee, ladies.
And now this is going to be a testament to he's coming along an innocent family in the middle of nowhere. Let's see what he does. Another character-defining moment.
After he saved my family, Mr. Isaac Haight became my new pappy, and my family, like all the families he was traveling with, had a considerable amount of gold. Mr. Haight gained 10 pounds just so he could fit in my old pappy's clothes. I remember seeing one of his 14 wives wearing one of my mammy's skirts in church. But the image I have of my family is looking back at us. Mr. Haight took us away. Their bodies left to fester, corrupt in the hot sun. I learned to love Mr. Haight. He taught me with the stick and the bullwhip and the knife how to love. Same as I love Roy Good now. For he's my son. I chose him. That is a more powerful bond, more powerful love than being born into it.
So it's not really about just his reputation. He's more upset because he truly loved Roy. That was his son.
We know he came through this way.
Not biologically, but he chose him to mentor him.
We've not seen anyone.
Of course, he may be dead, but then he's been dead before, so. Well, then, I think that tonight we're just gonna bed down over there. In the morning, we'll move on. But before we do, I need you two gentlemen to decide which of your lovely wives is gonna visit me in my blankets.
Don't let her do.
Night, Nicola.
Of course, if you both want to come along, you're more than welcome.
Well, looks like his propensity for violence is only outmatched by his propensity for sex. Of course, sex is used as a power tool, but he's also using terror and the threat.
You're the terrible Roy Good. You got a letter with the man's name on it. I look you in the eye and you don't seem so stone cold to me. You just seem lost, maybe a little sad.
I'm bad luck.
We have that in common then. Do we have a deal?
If I was to stay here and break them horses for you, there'd be something else I'd be wanting from you.
What might that be?
Teach me how to read.
Oh.
I could do that.
He's illiterate. Wow.
Oh, that is one fearful conglomerate. Myself, I made it 3 sips and abandoned all hope. You may have seen my rig out front, or not, given your condition. I believe I have just the thing. There you go, Sheriff. Try those on. Go on. Your life's about to change.
Oh, wow.
A bit dizzy.
They are rather powerfully magnified. That's why I only wear them for reading and such.
How much?
An officer of the law, a virtual human barricade between chaos.
How much?
25 cents.
To Marshal John Cook, have RG in custody in La Belle. We'll meet up in Ola Grande. Signed, Bill McNew. Who's RG?
Just send the damn thing.
Roy Good.
Papa.
A lot of these guys have visions and nightmares and sometimes even daydreams.
Lord. Call yourselves husbands and fathers. Why didn't you fight? Good book says, man lays down like a lamb, stays down.
You are no man of God.
Oh, man. What nothing good's gonna come from saying that?
God? What God? Mister, you clearly don't know where you are. There ain't no higher up around here to watch over you. It's godless country. And the sooner you accept your inevitable demise, the longer you all gonna live.
Oh, shit! Oh, she's a real one.
Same God made you and me also made a rattlesnake. That just don't make no sense.
There's the rattlesnake image again.
All a man can count on is himself. What is with all these infertile bumblebees?
Wow, he really embodies the term hurt people. The stuff he's been through is clearly the reason why he acts this way. Just a chain of learned behavior that he tried to pass on to Roy Good. He didn't want it, so.
What town's that way?
North? Ola Grand.
Well then, let's go to Ola Grand.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Godless Season 1, Episode 2. First thing I want to point out, the acting is on point. Jeff Daniels is doing an incredible job. Completely out of any element I've ever seen him in. It doesn't even seem like it's him. The entire cast though, Agnes, I still don't remember the sheriff's name and the woman's name who freed Roy. I still can't remember their name, but everyone's acting on point. Even Whitey. I kind of rock with Whitey so far. That's my favorite, if I had to pick a favorite so far. What's standing out to me is Frank's twisted sense of morality. He says they're in a godless county, but he keeps reciting these verses, and like I said, is it like tongue-in-cheek? Is he trying to point out the hypocrisy of it all, or does he really feel this way and he just goes through these up and down moods? He relies heavily on symbolism. His arm pointing, he saw that as a sign. The writing for the characters is great. We can tell that none of them are in their original element. All of them went through something that changed them completely, and the situations are arising that's going to make them revert back to how they were. Not too many edits, especially when it's a scene involving Frank Miller. It's kind of focused on him, like the camera is right in his face. It's showing how domineering he is whenever he's speaking, not just when he's in the scene, but when he's speaking, all eyes are on him, all the attention's on him. What he's saying is going to have ripple effects, not just in his posse, but for whatever town or area they're in. His word is God to his posse. His word is God to anyone in the area. And getting a little bit of background on, I think her name is Charlotte. I don't remember. She's a badass. Roy Good is illiterate. It's crazy. It seems like everyone's on the side of good and justice, except Frank and his posse. We got a lot of caretakers, you know, people that are looking out for everyone's well-being. We don't have just people looking out for themselves. Even if they're having trouble with it, they're doing the best they can because of the mental state that they're in. This is a really good show. I can't believe this is a Netflix show and people don't talk about it more. 7 episodes in 1 season. It almost seems unfortunate so far that that's all we got in this, but all that means is everything's gonna pick up very fast, very quick, and it's feeling like a slow burn show. I feel like all the details we're getting so far are gonna be essential to what happens in the rest of the series. So I'm ready for episode 3. Can't wait to share that with you guys. If anything in particular stood out to you in this episode, or if there was anything I might have missed, please tell me about it in the comments below. I hope you enjoy watching my reaction. All I ask is that you leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can also catch my full-length reaction to this series and others on my Patreon, link in the description. You guys are the best. We're basically family now. I hope you know that. That's it from me. Until next time, spread peace and love. I'm out.